no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Better say my name. The other day, I would call, you would say, baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same. Every other word is a yeah, okay. Could it be that you are at the crib with another lady? If you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and play. So prove yourself to me. If I'm the girl that you claim, why don't you
be like, damn, slow down. I know you see it clean, adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She been living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can catch us.
And we are back, y'all. We are here for day 5. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Good evening, y'all. Woo! Today was another good day in court. Just for starters, so we can have an estimated timeline. Court is expected to wrap up on Tuesday, you guys. We're hoping for justice and whatever that may entail, y'all. But just so we know, the end of the road is near. We just got to make it to Tuesday for the closing statements. But we're gonna get caught up on what happened today. If you guys did not know, yesterday the defense team basically insinuated or tried to have Kelsey state that she was pressured by the prosecution to give statements or to defend herself, and those were the only people that made her feel unsafe, right? So because of that, the prosecution came back and said that they need to tell the whole truth of what happened, and in order to do so, they needed to play the actual recording of Kelsey doing her interview with the police back in September of 2022. Originally, they were playing clips from the audio throughout Tuesday and a little bit of Wednesday. But Wednesday and a little bit of Thursday. I'm sorry, I have my days mixed up. But because of that accusation, the judge allowed them to play all of it and granted it into evidence. Before, it was never going to be a part of evidence. It was just to quote, jog Kelsey's memory. So everyone was able to hear the snippets, but they could not take that into consideration when they are going to be deliberating for an answer. So now that it's officially into testimony or evidence, today was a very long day, but it put a lot of things in perspective. So we're going to start off playing a video, and then we're going to move on to what actually happened in court. India, we have the answer. So Kelsey actually talks about it today. Well, she didn't talk about it today. She actually told the prosecution exactly how she was feeling in her interview with them back in September. So it's going to put some things into perspective. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I kind of feel bad for Kelsey. I kind of feel bad. Like, when I say this is a really good case, this is a really good case. I am ready for Lifetime to make their old, grand old movies. Y'all know how they do. They gonna make a movie, baby. They gonna make a movie. I'm ready for them to make a movie off of this. I am so ready for Law and Order SVU to get their episode in, because it's a really, really good case. I have learned so much. I feel like the people that have been watching this has also learned so much. And it just shows people why it's important to know about court and how the legal system works in America, because it's a lot that people do not know. And a lot of us, especially our generation, we just go off of what our mamas and daddy told us because they probably been to court, but some of us has never been in any legal troubles, probably won't ever see a courtroom. So things like this is not really broadcasted enough. So let me go ahead. We're going to start off by playing Mr. Dennis Byron. He's going to talk a little bit about what the defense is going through right now. Girl, I love SVU. You know they're gonna come up with one behind the headlines. You know, they have a whole playlist on Hulu called Law and Order SVU. You scroll over and it says behind the headlines. You can watch every episode that they redid based off of something that they seen on the news. So really good. I like the show. But anyway, we're gonna play what the defense is going through, and then we're gonna circle over to our good girl Megan Cuniff over on Twitter, and then we're gonna circle back to Dennis. Hell, we might play both. I'm gonna save Dennis for last. I'm gonna save the other video for last.
Okay, guys, how's my sound? How is my sound? Put a one in the chat if my sound sounds good. Put a one in the chat if my sound is good. Okay, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a breaking news development in the case against rapper Tory Lanez. I just learned moments ago that the fourth person in the vehicle, the driver, cannot be located. The driver of Tory Lanez's vehicle on July 12th cannot be located. He will not be testifying in the trial. This is according to my source. If you can't find the driver, do we now exclude him from being a participant in what happened to Megan? This is a breaking news development. The driver cannot be located. Is this a game changer? That's the question. How will this help or harm Tory Lanez's defense? Better yet, how will this help or harm the prosecution's case? Additionally, Kylie Jenner and Corey Gamble will not be testifying either. Neither will be testifying. This is a developing story. We thought that the driver was located, but he's not testifying. I want you guys to make sure you pay attention to what happens today, because the 80-minute tape will be played to the jurors, and we're going to see what happens.
So, Mr. Dennis, he had posted this before court started today, and it was a bombshell. He said from his source that he was told that basically there are no one testifying for the defense. It was alleged that Corey Gamble, which is Kylie Jenner's mom's boyfriend, was going to testify, and we knew that the driver, he had been missing, y'all. The driver had allegedly been missing, but I guess there was some type of rumor that he had been found and he was going to testify. I'm not sure if he was supposed to testify for the prosecution or for the defense. However, he's gone again. He's gone in the wind. So there's no other person besides Kelsey that can give the honest statements of what happened inside that car or outside that car that day in 2020. So that makes her testimony that much more valuable, which goes back to our initial point. Now, if you guys remember, Kelsey, or when the prosecution gave their opening statements, they had alleged that even though Megan was pow-powed, that Kelsey was assaulted at the hands of Tory Lanez. This was new information to a lot of people, including myself. No one knew this. I don't think anyone knew. So as Kelsey was called to the stand and she was basically a hostile witness, it threw everyone for a loop. Here we are today. They played the tapes. So let's go ahead and get on to what actually happened and why they needed her testimony this bad. Okay, so we got Megan on the screen. Let me make sure y'all can see. Did I just mess up? Let me share my screen. Okay. We got Megan on the screen, and she is over here on Twitter. I feel like her threads are always really good in my opinion, but today it was really, really good. So she says, "We are on the 90-minute break. The recording of Kelsey is nearly finished. We will hear the end of it when we return. The recording is all Kelsey talking comfortably about what happened, with the prosecutors asking questions. We haven't heard any kind of pressure yet. Kelsey tells prosecutors about Tory saying something about Meg needing to tell her truth, and Kelsey was confused. She tells prosecutors that Meg said something like, Kelsey, don't listen. He's trying to make you mad. Next thing you know, the argument began with Tory and Meg. Tory called Meg bitches and hoes, and Kelsey told prosecutors, I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. Kelsey also told prosecutors, honestly, when I argue, I just kind of say things that are hurtful too. She talked about Lanez threatening to shoot her, saying she told him, if you shoot me, you shoot me. I guess it's my time to go. Then the argument turned into artistry. Kelsey said Meg said that the only reason Tory's fame is famous is because he did a remix with Jack Harlow. Tory is dissing Meg. I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their careers as an artist. Now this goes back to what Megan said earlier on the stand. She said that they was arguing over their careers. And everyone kind of laughed because it was like, what? But this actually proves that Megan was telling the truth, that they actually were arguing over their careers. Kelsey describes Meg getting out of the Escalade, and she describes Tory shooting in detail. She says she turned at the sound of the second or third gunshot and saw Tory on the right front passenger side shooting over the door. Shooting over the door is a very, very big detail because that is also what Megan testified to. And remember, that is how the whole question of how tall is Tory came about. Mind you, this is audio playing from her September 2022 interview with the prosecutors. Okay. Asked if it was in Megan's direction, Kelsey said, definitely in her direction. Yeah, definitely in her direction. She described fearing for her life as Tory pulled on her hair and neck because it was really hard. Kelsey is doing all the talking. The DAs are barely saying anything in the video. Kelsey talks about getting back into the Escalade with Meg and says, we didn't have a pushback about getting in the car and didn't even consider calling 911. Again, regarding why this is all coming in, Tory's lawyers kept asking Kelsey in cross-examination if DAs pressured her to incriminate Tory in the interview to save herself. Judge Harryfield agreed prosecutors get to play the entire interview to show the jury what really happened. I saw this same kind of colossal mistake made by a defense attorney in federal trial back in March. I never in a million years would imagine having a legitimate reason to mention rapper Tory Lanez in the same sentence as former Republican Nebraska Congressman Jeff Fortenberry. We can get into that trial later too. It was a really good trial. But what happened with this recording of Kelsey's interview happened with the most incriminating piece of evidence for Fortenberry during his election time criminal trial for lying to the FBI. During exam for Fort Worth's wife, Celeste, Fort's lawyer played snippets of a call in which Fort is told his campaign donations came from a single foreign donor, which is illegal, asking Celeste about kitchen sounds to try to establish how distracted Fort was during the call. Fort's lawyer didn't play all the incriminating parts, But by playing snippets and asking about it in direct, he opened the door for prosecutors to get up during cross of Celeste and play the entire recording of the call uninterrupted. It was brutal for Fort, playing it right after questions to Celeste about cooking in the kitchen just highlighted how ridiculous the questioning was and how incriminating the overall call was for now ex-congressman. He resigned after he was convicted. So she just used that story as an example. She said, I'll say the recording from Kelsey is even worse. There was really no way that this was ever going to be played for the jury in full. If Tory's lawyer hadn't hounded her in cross about changing her story to fit prosecutor's case regarding not trusting the police, Kelsey talks about the recording that the TMZ video had. When discussing the aftermath of LAPD pulling them over at gunpoint, cops had her on the ground and they actually had me spread my legs super wide. You could see the clips. Regarding the TMZ video, I'm trying to figure out why I sat through 2 days of Kelsey testimony, but the first time I see the video is not in the courtroom, but in my Twitter replies. It sure seems like that video could have been evidence in this trial. So she's basically calling out the prosecution for not actually lining up all of their evidence as well and making sure everything was submitted, because the whole not trusting the police story that Megan said actually is correct, because Kelsey is saying the same thing back in September in her interview, stating that she also didn't trust the police either and she felt violated because they had her spread her legs wide open in front of all of those officers. So she felt some type of way, and then TMZ was able to get the video and republish it online. She said the prosecutors would have to find a way to authenticate it in court, as in get a witness up there that can confirm it was filmed when it's said to have been filmed. Oh, when it's said to have been filmed, and that really shows Kelsey and Meg. Ideally, this would be done through a person who filmed it. Maybe there's another way to do it, but the person who filmed it would be best. I saw a tweet last night regarding Tory's Insta comment that said it's another example of Black culture coming up with evidence. Given all the huge interest in this, does everyone know if the person who actually filmed the video has spoken publicly about it, or is their identity at least known by some people? Y'all know I had also played the video from another angle where I was showing you guys that Kelsey was clearly upset and not wanting to get out the car. So she's still talking about that. She's basically saying that there's a gang of evidence around that shows that people actually were around. If the prosecutors were able to track down the people that made these various videos and even sold them to TMZ, then it would not just be people coming up with evidence on the internet. It would actually be real life evidence, because these people recorded it, they admitted to recording it, and they are admitting that they saw things that night. So that's what her little rant was about. She said, of course, it's far too late now to get that in trial, but I'm interested in how exactly prosecutors could have figured out a way to authenticate it through a short witness, then ask Kelsey about it in the testimony. So she's basically saying they could have gotten that person, gotten a statement, used also what Kelsey said to then prove without a reasonable doubt that this is actually what happened that night. She said one thing that absolutely should have come in is what, I don't know. Gabby and others pointed out regarding the lyric that Tory's lawyer quoted from Kelsey's diss track against Meg. Tory's lawyer asked Kelsey about a single lyric regarding shooting Meg in the head. But as Gabby said, the full rap has lyrics that make it clear Kelsey is saying she isn't the one who shot Meg. After Tory's lawyer asked Kelsey about a single lyric, Deputy DA Kathy should have brought up the other lyrics and asked her about them. This case is far better prosecuted than the Harvey Weinstein trial, extremely low bar, but there was a blunder involving prosecutors not releasing a text message or some kind of document to Tory's lawyer until just the other day. And DA Alexander Bott actually cited his caseload was or his actually cited his caseload when explaining to Harryfield, the judge, why it had been overlooked. What? I can completely understand defense attorneys complain about their caseloads, but prosecutors, the document or text at issue is going to be super helpful for Tory. Prosecutors pointed out the contents of it are already included in something else that Tory's lawyer has had for a long time. Yes, that should have been disclosed sooner, and maybe Hereford will agree to have them sanction it. Unlikely, but at the end, actual material does little to help Tory's defense, just like Tory's lawyer's cross of that LAPD detective regarding the Instagram comment. The whole thing seems silly to the gallery. It's a reply from Tory verified account about the whole Kelsey didn't do it. What kind of deep dive investigation and detailed police report was needed about it? So in this tweet, she's basically saying that Tory's defense team tried to rebuttal when prosecutors talked about or presented the evidence showing that Tory had already said to someone on Instagram that Kelsey did not shoot Megan. They basically were saying we would need to investigate that. It can't be true. And Megan Cuniff, the news reporter or journalist, was like, come on now, like y'all know that really came from him. Stop. It's from his verified account. But he quickly admitted that he didn't think about things like IP addresses and the fact that multimillionaire entertainers might have someone else writing for their social media posts. So in this tweet, she's basically saying that the prosecutors did not clear that up by saying, hey, this came from his account, blah, blah, blah. We made sure he tweeted this. We got the IP address. Because basically the defense team is saying, hey, he's a celebrity. He has people use his type for him all the time, make statements on his behalf, and sometimes they're not even on his behalf. He does they say things and he has no idea what they be saying. So that was their angle that the defense was trying to use, and Megan Cuniff is just calling out the prosecutors for not having that airtight. So I thought that was very unbiased of her, and it was honest because the prosecutors is now every time they're messing up, they're saying that their caseload is heavy, and that's bull crap. Okay. She said, but again, what does the fact that someone from Tory's team might have written that's not true comment and not Tory have to do with the defense here? That happened the same day the defense team reckless cross of Kelsey sets us up for the recording. I'm hoping to go back into court. Then she says this funny tweet. She said, earlier this week, a reporter sitting next to me in the gallery whispered, boy, Tory Lanez attorneys look like a couple of linebackers up there. And this is what his attorneys look like. I was cracking up. She's funny. She's funny. So then she comes back and says, we are done for the day after hearing from DNA experts who say Tory's DNA was not on the gun magazine. It can't be concluded that his DNA wasn't on the gun, but it can't be it can't be concluded that his DNA wasn't on the gun, but it can't be said that it was either. Tory left court with his son in his arms a few minutes ago. She actually said that the son was actually in the hallway watching his iPad. Judge David expects for the testimony to conclude on Tuesday. She also says, regarding Kelsey refusing to identify Tory as the shooter in court, while easily talking about all the details with prosecutors in the recorded private meeting, I saw her walk into the courthouse as photographers shouted stuff at her that could be considered an intimidation tactic. So we go back to the video that she shared the other day that I actually pointed out the heckler. She said, here's the video. A couple of them are LA based. I know the guy in the yellow beanie and can be confirmed he's your friendly local paparazzi. But the guys barking stuff at her are not. The truth will set you free, maybe. So she's basically saying that this is an angle that can be taken for Kelsey, saying that, hey, she felt threatened when she was walking in. They was yelling at her. And I'm like, not our little homie right there in the brown hat. He ain't intimidating her. He's not intimidating her. Megan, don't you go there. But she was just pointing out that that could be an angle. She also says one highlight from Kelsey's interview with prosecutors is that she clearly says that she never heard anyone say dance bitch. She heard 5 gunshots and saw Tory firing the gun, but she told prosecutors she never heard him say dance bitch. Tory's lawyers pointed out in his opening statement that Megan is the only one who says Tory said that. She testified to it on Tuesday, but in Kelsey's candid, clear interview with prosecutors, she says no one said that. It could become a credibility issue for Megan Thee Stallion with jurors, but one thing to keep in mind is that Tory is not charged with a crime for allegedly saying dance bitch. His charges are for allegedly shooting Megan. So that was her rundown on court. That was her rundown, y'all. What do y'all think? So she pointed out some areas of opportunity for both the defense and prosecution. She said that basically the prosecution needs to do better with their evidence and making sure that they're getting all the pieces of evidence that are non-refutable. Like they should not be able to have defense come back and give them like a gray area, reasonable doubt, show reasonable doubt. And then she also said that the defense team was very negligent when they tried to steer Kelsey into suggesting that the prosecution was coercing her into some type of false confession, or not confession, but false allegations against Tory, so she would be acquitted from any crime. So I thought that was a very good thread. Y'all let me know. Next, we're actually going to play the video from our good brother Dennis. Like I said, once I watched this video, I kind of feel for Kelsey, as it gives some insight. Why do I keep doing that? It gives some insight on exactly how she is feeling and why she is the way that she is regarding Megan. Hey, everyone coming into the chat. I'm so sorry. I was on a different page, so I couldn't see everyone. Hey, Ty. Hi, So Sincere. Hey, Verena. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Vicky. Hey, The Coolest Jazz. Okay, let's go on to the video. Hey, sweetie.
I hope you guys can hear me now. I hope you can hear me now. Hey, can you guys hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so listen, we had a little technical difficulty, as we do in this building, but the prosecution has played almost 60 minutes of the Kelsey Harris interview. When I tell you the interview is explosive. In the interview, Kelsey goes on to explain how she saw Tory Lanez shoot Megan Thee Stallion. She explains how Megan exits the vehicle. She hears 3 and she gets out the car following Megan, because she was told to get out the car by Tory Lanez. She exits the vehicle. Megan is ahead of her. She hears the first 3 shots ring out. She turns around. She sees Tory on the passenger front side, lean over the car door, firing the last 2 shots. Megan turns around. She freezes. The look on her face, as Kelsey describes, is like a deer looking into a headlight. Afterwards, she sees Tory moving towards Megan. She jumps into defense mode. She approaches. She kind of gets in front of Megan, and Tory and Kelsey starts fighting, or the way she described it, he starts assaulting her. Now, this is far different than what she testified to yesterday. She testified she couldn't remember. But the other thing that we never heard before was what happened next. Apparently, there was 2 instances of assault. When she got back in, she raced She raced back into the vehicle, jumped in the driver's seat, jerked the car to get Tory's attention. Tory runs over, grabs her by the hair. They're tussling, and she says she kind of cowered down and said, "Tory, what are you doing?" And he releases her. They all gets back in the car. Tory gets in the front passenger seat. Megan gets in the back driver's seat, and Kelsey gets behind Tory. Very explosive testimony. I'm gonna tell you why it's explosive. In several different instances of this recording, she breaks down and cries. Breaks down and cries. You can hear the prosecutors leaving the room. She's still crying. Now, this is far different than what was said on the stand. Something else she's talked about was the fact that when this all took place, it was like she was being isolated from everybody. They told her to go back home. Megan said she'll pay for her to stay in a place in Houston for a year. And it was like they were trying to distance themselves from her or perhaps even protecting her. In any event, she said she felt some kind of way. Some kind of way in that she's been with Megan for many years, and this was just the way they were treating her was just something different. But there's another 20 minutes to be played. But this is a game changer, and I don't know if this is going to help the defense much. And this is the tape was introduced because the defense questioned whether or not Kelsey Harris was intimidated. And when I tell you, when you listen to the audio, it doesn't appear that she was intimidated. She remembered very important details. I got very extensive notes, but I'm going to tell you, it is definitely explosive in that this woman legitimately, in my opinion, she tried to defend her friend. But something else she said was Megan distanced herself from her as well without no explanation. Don't know why she did that, but that might be the motivation why those two aren't speaking right now. This is explosive. I don't know how you can recover from this. I don't know how, and I'm gonna tell you something else very important. Throughout the entire trial, I watched the jurors. Every juror was taking notes. Every juror was taking notes. I watched them extensively, and none of them raised their head. They was reading the transcript or taking notes. Crazy, crazy development. But we have to see what's next. There's 20 more minutes to be played, and we have to see how the defense is going to rebut what was just played. I'm Dennis Byrne, reporting live at the Los Angeles Criminal Court.
So, as you guys heard in the video that, where Kelsey was talking to prosecutors back in September, she was crying. She was showing emotion when she was talking about this. And she basically said something big. She said basically she was defending her friend. She too was assaulted, hence why the prosecutors said that in their opening statement. She fought Tory for her friend. And then after everything was said and done, um she was isolated from Megan. Now, people don't realize that this could be for various reasons. Maybe, like I said yesterday, maybe Megan felt guilty for going behind her back and sleeping with Tory. Y'all heard earlier, Kelsey said that Megan told her, "Don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad," because they had already been arguing. But Armin Wiggins live was very interesting. He was in the court and told everything. Really, Nicole? I'm gonna have to check him out. I did not know he was inside the courtroom. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch that. Wow. Hold on. Let me see if I can find his live. I did not know that. I hadn't even been looking at like any YouTubers as far as what they had to say. I was one off of the same people I usually watch. I like Armand though. Let me see. Did he go live today? I see that he went live 19 hours ago. Was that the video you're talking about, Nicole? Pineapples has it on her channel. Oh, Pine has it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna share it on my community tab and tell everyone to watch it, and then we can do a reaction. Okay, hold on. Oh, she posted it an hour ago. Okay. Let me share this 1 second. Okay. I shared it out. I'm not gonna play all of her video, but let's see. 1 second. Yeah, I gotta go give our girl Pine some views.
So now,
Let me share my screen to see what he had to say. It was on IG, not on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I don't even follow him, so I would have never, ever, ever looked at his Instagram. That's crazy.
child, so I told you I was gonna come and get the tea.
He really did.
So, baby, that audio that they just played of Kelsey, bitch. First of all, she was in court yesterday saying that she was lying and feeling uncomfortable. That audio that she played for that the prosecution played when she did that interview with them, she sounded very comfortable. She was trying to make sure she had all the receipts. Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. Period. She said that Tory Lanez shot him. She said what ended up happening. How would this man come right by me like this? She pretty much said, bitch, they was at Kylie Jenner house first. Okay. They got him. Kylie Jenner invited Meg and Kelsey to her house.
Yeah, we just gonna have to watch it later. Okay, we're gonna have to support Pineapples and watch it. She got ads playing and everything. I already know what he's gonna say, that they was at Kylie Jenner's house. It was security there. They was all having a good time. And that Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez started arguing there. So I already know that part. The Workers for Lawyers has said that as well on his live. So we're gonna check that out after the fact. But seeing how court is going now, let me just ask this: do you guys think that he will be found guilty? Do you guys think that the defense can recover from Kelsey's video being played in full? I feel like if he gets found guilty, he has to thank his own team for that. Yeah, no one knew, Nicole. No one knew that he beat up Kelsey the way that he did. But it made my ears ring when they all reported that that's what the prosecutor said in their opening statements. I was like, oh, maybe they just trying to, hype it up for antics. No, they were absolutely going off of what Kelsey told them in a very upset way. She was crying. They said that even when the prosecutors will leave out the room to probably go get something, she was still in the room, still crying tears. Like, she was very comfortable. Her story was very detailed, too detailed to be a lie, or too detailed to say that she got any of this information from the online fake investigators that had been throwing out narratives. So, although the prosecution dropped the ball on some of the areas of evidence that they should have had, I believe, like I had told you guys, that they were using Kelsey as the main person, not even Megan Thee Stallion, which is crazy. But they were using Kelsey, and Kelsey's behavior, and thanks to the defense team, is ultimately going to, or could give them, a win that they're looking for. So it's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. I cannot wait to watch the rest of the live to see exactly what they said. That's crazy, y'all. That is so crazy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I forgot what else I was gonna say because I didn't really have much to talk about today. Oh, the lack of defenses. The driver not being there, Corey Gamble not being there, and then Kylie. I knew Kylie wasn't gonna testify. Um, because I mean, what else were they gonna say? Yes, they was arguing at my house, but besides that, to me it's nothing that the prosecution needed. The defense may needed that a little bit more to show that Megan was crazy and acting crazy, but at the end of the day he's on trial for using a firearm against her. And like I said, I do feel bad for Kelsey. My heart goes out to her as well because she felt alone as well. And like AK said, maybe Megan thought she was somehow protecting Kelsey, which I agree. Kelsey basically also said that Megan never came out right and said Kelsey didn't do it. She never defended her. And that was a slap to Kelsey's face. Hence why Kelsey is so upset the way she is. Kelsey went to bat for this girl. Kelsey also got beat up that night. Kelsey also was threatened with a firearm that night, just like Megan. And she stood 10 toes down even after it was thrown in her face that her friend had backdoored her yet again with another man. And then after the end of the night, Megan tells her, "Yeah, I'm gonna pay for your rent if you go back to Texas for a whole year," and then never calls or emails her again. Changed her number, blocked her number, whatever you call it, and never heard from Megan again. Yeah, that does hurt. It does sting. Does that give Kelsey a right to act the way she was acting in court? No, but it does give a little bit of insight about their fragile friendship. They clearly were not friends the way that we believe a friendship should go, but it does show that Kelsey was a lot more of a friend to Megan than Megan was to her, in my opinion, because she just had heard that her friend slept with a man again, allegedly, and while her friend is being shot at, she's still swinging on this man. Like, it's crazy. So Millennial Lux, we don't care really about Megan sleeping with anybody or all of her boyfriends. Just awful. We don't mind women's pocketbooks. And if you are a man, you damn sure shouldn't be minding a pocketbook. So we're not gonna highlight that. We're just showing how Kelsey feels in the moment. Okay. So I do feel like Kelsey was way more of a friend to Megan, and so you do care. That's great, millennial. What's your favorite type of pocketbook? Do you what's your favorite type of purse? Now, let me tell you, I like those teddy bags from Coach. Let me tell you, Coach did a whole new rebrand with their line, and their purses are chef's kiss. You know, anyone can really buy them. And then I like Louis Vuitton. So I like all types of pocketbooks. I did put a few on my wish list for Christmas. So millennial, what's your favorite type of pocketbook? Yes, AK. I love Coach. I love that they're rebrand. It's really cool. Megan said that Tory shot her. That means that Kelsey didn't do it. Megan never even insinuated that Kelsey did. Exactly. That's why I was like, why was she hanging on, Kelsey hanging on so much of the or not Megan, why was Kelsey holding on to the whole Megan didn't defend me? But once she said like how she got beat up, how she was swinging, how she told Tory, you better shoot me, it's my time to go. I was like, oh well, maybe that's why she felt like her form of defending versus what she received from Megan was totally different. And I do feel bad for her in that aspect. Oh, millennial, okay, you're not a coach type of girl. Okay, that's great. Lux, Kelsey and Meg was playing in that lady pond together. Y'all keep saying that, and I have not did any research, but hey, I don't know. Baby, them Michael Kors be saying something. I don't even really like Michael Kors. I liked them like years and years ago, but they haven't really changed their designs too much. All around was a mess. The friendship had cracks and this was a nail in the coffin. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it does show that Kelsey does have some type of trauma to this night. Hence, she was crying like that in September. It was probably therapeutic for her to finally get it out for the first time, because y'all know she really has not said anything besides that horrible rap song she tried to do. But even then, she never played herself as the victim. So that video, I believe, I would just wish somebody was able to just release it to the public, baby. I bet you that video probably sheds light on Kelsey. Oh, Meg straight up lied to Gail King about their relationship with Tory too. Nicole keeps saying that she really does. Okay, so then the last thing that I wanted to mention, you guys, was the DNA. So it was, I guess, a rumor earlier this week, or not this week, but a few weeks ago, that said that Kelsey's DNA was on the gun, and um what's the short man? What's the leprechaun? Tory Lane's DNA was not. Well, it was confirmed in court today that she never was tested for her DNA being on the gun. So that's not true. Um she did still have gunshot powder or residue on her that she did test positive for, but she was never tested for her DNA being on the gun. So I did want to clarify that, because I was even stressed out about that. I'm like, how was her DNA on the gun and not Tory's? Hey, they did also say in court that Tory, being the person that was holding the gun allegedly, his DNA should have been on that gun without a doubt. Like his DNA definitely should have been on there. So the fact that it is inconclusive is weird as well. Kelsey did some lives about the situation. Yeah, but she never came off as a victim, and she never was crying like that. Like when Dennis said that she was crying, my eyes got kind of big, because I was like, oh wow, she's showing emotion. Having a friend betray you like that must have been heartbreaking for Kelsey, and the public bashing Meg put her through is awful. Absolutely. Being shot is awful. Having your friend backdoor you is awful. Having two friends not be friends anymore because of a leprechaun is awful. So millennial, how do you feel about a short man dragging Kelsey? Let's take Megan out of the equation, because we know Megan in her pocketbook is such a trending topic. So since we all want to say that Megan has lied about some things, and yes she has, yes she did, how do you feel about Tory Lanez allegedly mollywhopping on Kelsey? How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you guys feel about men beating on women? How do y'all feel? Let's talk about that. Because if he is so innocent, let's take Megan out the equation. Why did he beat up on Kelsey? And why did he threaten to shoot her? Was that awful? Wasn't there a witness that stated they saw the girls fighting? Yes. There is a witness that said that they saw the girls fighting. They have not testified yet. It honestly doesn't matter if Meg lied to Gail, laugh aloud, as long as she tells the truth on the stand. It matters, Brina, because it speaks to Meg's janky character. She has something to hide. So, anytime we lie, do we deserve to be shot at? Anytime we sleep with our friends, men, do we deserve to be shot at? I mean, like, we just got to have this type of conversation, because I'm confused. The punishment does not fit the crime. I mean, F. Gail King. Meg not asking who's sleeping in her bed. Man, Meg didn't even ask her what type of person she liked. I'm going to say no one, because it's y'all business. The bodyguard said this wasn't the first with these two. Wow. Tory was in the car trying to wipe the gun down before being arrested. Could be possible. Tory is discussing as well, and neither of those women should have entertained him. He is toxic. I in no way feel he's innocent, and not sure what the conclusion is coming from. No, I definitely agree that he is toxic. And we also have to remember that the oldest person in this equation was Tory Lanez. The other two are young, dumb, and very trauma filled. I'm not excluding Megan's actions, and she's not on trial for being a good friend or a bad friend. She's on trial for, being assaulted in a very heinous way, and not something that you should play with. 5 rounds at your feet just is insane to me. And to even take that away because I know people have a sour taste in their mouth. Like I said, I was disgusted with um Tory once I saw what he did to August Alsina, but everyone giving their account of what they heard Kelsey say in her interview, even it's still the deal for me. It's still the deal. I do feel very bad for Kelsey as well. Again, I'm not condoning her actions on the stand and being a hostile witness because she should do what is right. However, no one deserves to get their hands put on at by the at, like I don't understand. Like I could understand arguing with someone, being drunk, arguing over you sleeping with my boyfriend. However, I just can't imagine how everyone went to sleep that night. Kelsey went to sleep that night feeling betrayed, alone, and like she did something wrong after she was literally fighting for her friend. This proves that she was a ride or die, like we all said that she should have been. Megan, she probably feels guilty, hence why she ran away from Kelsey, because when a mother effer do you wrong, the first thing they gonna do is abandon you because they can't face reality. Then she was shot at. Then you got Tory calling them, leaving them messages, bribing them with money. It's just so much. It's just so much. And it's unfortunate that these two ladies can't come back together and talk, because maybe it could be a conversation for healing and then they can move on whether they choose to be friends or not. They are in different places of their life. Kelsey is now a wife and a mother. So hopefully her perspective on things changes. And then Megan, she's a international star. She is graduated from college. Maybe her life is changing. She is losing people left and right. I don't know, but this trial is really crazy. Like I said, I'm ready for the Lifetime movie. Of course, it doesn't warrant being shot, but let's be real. Lying is a serious character flaw. Always have been, always will be. And I absolutely agree, AK. I do. And I don't think that we will ever understand why Megan has lied about allegedly having sex with Tory, because it was so little. And like I said, people who lie about little things are dangerous to me, because why did you lie? However, I don't feel like it should overshadow what went down. We making strange connections here. Has she not been sleeping with someone else's man, she would have not been shot? No, because Kelsey didn't shoot her for sleeping with the man. Let's be clear. Megan met Tory Lanez. Kelsey met Tory Lanez by way of Megan. Okay? They were hanging out. So it's not like she backdoored and she purposely found this man and she had to jump through hoops. You know what I'm saying? They was all hanging in the same circle. I'm not, again, condoning her sleeping with her friend's man. However, Tory Lanez and Megan was allegedly arguing. Tory Lanez brought up the whole Megan, you need to tell the truth, because they were arguing with each other and he wanted to cause a division that was already there, but he wanted to that. He antagonized that whole entire night is what I'm saying. That's my point. He started the shit. And then when it got too hot, he wanted to pull out his gun. He knew what he was doing. Megan also knew, hence why she told Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's trying to make you mad. He was trying to have an ally on his side while he couldn't take the heat from Megan's low blows about his musical career. Meg's character is on trial, though. The jury always looks at the character in the kinds of cases. Megan has been arrested for assaulting previous partners as well. Megan is not on trial. It's the state versus Tory. Megan's not on trial. Megan's not even in the courtroom anymore. Kelsey has trauma and I hope she's seeing someone. I couldn't be married to anyone with previous affiliations of Meg or her label. Me either. Kelsey confirmed that the argument wasn't really about Megan and Tory sleeping together. Megan and Tory were throwing jabs at each other's career. Thank you. That lie to Gail was totally uncalled for and should have never happened. Celebrities are given questions they are going to ask beforehand. She could have removed it. Yes. Yes. Now, I do agree. I feel like she should have just removed it because she knew Gail was going to ask that. We all wanted to know, but she should have been like, you'll have to wait and see. It could have been her attorney telling her not to say anything. I think both Kelsey and Megan have people in their ear who don't have their best interests at heart. I absolutely agree. And they're so young. They're so young. But was Tory even her man though? I don't get the beef. Tory is a messy ass ninja and wanted to cause beef between them and they fed right into it. Even Kelsey said the main argument was about their careers. Yeah, she said that as well. That's why when they said that Kelsey said it in her tape, I was shocked because we know that Kelsey and Megan have not talked at all. So for her to say it, she can't say that she got that information from Megan. He was mad because he wanted to get back at Travis by sleeping with Kylie. Huh? He don't like Travis? Apparently the dance bitch was a lie too. Okay, so I was racking my head about that as well. And I was like, so Megan heard it, Kelsey didn't hear it. But remember, like, there's like that whole assignment. Have you ever did that where we all go through something, but we all remember different details about the same event, and like you all get interviewed, and everyone has a totally different story. Everyone saw the the bad guy in different color clothes. So I was like, okay, it could be one or two things. But this goes back to Megan shouldn't have been a liar. But anyway, it could be one or two things. He did absolutely say it, and and Kelsey didn't hear it because she was focused on the gun, or he didn't say it and Megan lied. But the reason why that goes into play is because Megan has lied before, so people are going to say that she's lying. Yes, the Mandela effect. That's what it's called. Yes, so that's the two things that I get from it. But again, we're going to hang on Megan being a liar, so it doesn't do her any justice. She sure has said she's been arrested for assaulting a female relative. She was also arrested for fighting some girl that her man was, or fighting the man because he was cheating too. She used to do these. Megan Thee Stallion used to do these like story times, and she told those stories before. AK, that could have been the case, but journalists go off script too. I don't think that Gail went off script because Gail learned her lesson after she was talking to R. Kelly. I don't think she went off script. And what about Tory's violent history? That man, the man who's actually on trial. Yeah, girl. That part. Even if it was the case, she didn't have to answer if it was uncomfortable being honest. Y'all failed to acknowledge the court of public opinion. Meg is very much on trial if we're keeping it real. Her character is narcissistic. Yep, I'm not shocked at people feeling this way about Megan. I had called it on the first day. Yeah, millennial. I don't know if you watched my other uploads, but go back and watch. I knew this was gonna happen. It's just really, in my opinion, it's draining because we're still stuck on that part, but it's kind of hard to even get onto the new evidence or do any reactions onto what's happening now because it's still, well, Megan lied. Okay, Megan lied, Tory lied, Kelsey lied, they all lied. I lied when I was 6 and ripped up my spelling bee paper. But do y'all think Tory is going to be found guilty? Was my question. Like, I'm not trying to even be this way, but do y'all think he's gonna be found guilty? Like, we going everywhere but where my question was. What do y'all hope to get from this? It does make sense that he said that he was shooting at her feet. Tory and Travis had beef, and at the time, him and Kylie were on a break. That's why Tory stayed when the others left. And then, Nicole, you you be having the tea. You be having the tea. I am cracking up. I would have never knew that. I would have never knew that. I feel like Tory has beef with so many people. Um, And Tory gives me that type of person that he just like, even if he didn't have beef with Travis, he just wants to bad Kylie to say he bad Kylie. Her character does play a part in trial when it comes to whether or not she's being honest about what happened, but I don't think she's a narcissist. I think Megan is really young and dumb. And seeing that I'm only 29, I feel like if I was 25, if I think about when I was 25, I was dumb then, y'all. 21, really dumb. Baby, don't get me to 18. Woo, baby, just dumb. Yep, it goes to credibility. Okay, so you don't think that he's gonna be found guilty? Why do you say that? Y'all have to stop acting as if Megan is some little random 13-year-old caught up in this. She's a grown woman and there's no excuse for lying. I agree, AK. I do agree. So do you think that Tory will be found guilty? I hope he's found guilty, but I have a feeling he won't be. Okay, so 2. I think he'll be guilty but having the gun for having the gun, but I don't know about the assault. Yep. You have to watch Armand's video. Kelsey explained how it started at Kylie and why she was the one who takes the bodyguard. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch it. So to answer my own question, I don't know if he's gonna be found guilty. A part of me doesn't think he's going to be found guilty either. And the main reason why is because court is so up in the air. Like, we could feel like, oh my God, yes, 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 they did everything right. But it's in the hands of the jury. And when Dennis said that when he looked over at the jury, they were taking notes the whole time. I felt like that means that they were on the analytical side and not the feeling side, you know? So for me, if I was a juror, I would be watching the video to see Kelsey's body language, to see her crying. I would not necessarily be the one that was taking notes because I'm literally watching. But them taking notes shows me that they might just be looking at the facts and things that is without a doubt. And if it's questionable, then they can't go with a conviction. Before today, I could see Tory walking, but after the tape, I don't know now. I'm not drained because I don't know these people, but I'm not siding with the liar. I vote not guilty because it hasn't been proven beyond a reasonable doubt that he is. I do think Tory should be canceled. Okay. Meg ain't a narc. She's dealing with trauma and mourning many losses and using liquor, sex, and partying to cope, which will never end well. She's also surrounded by people who don't have her best interests. I'm hoping he is, but I don't know. I see a lot of room for reasonable doubt. You know, in order for the jury to convict you, there has to be hard evidence. Yep. That I agree. I agree with all of you guys. Like that's why it's up in the air. I do have some type of anxiety about it because it is a serious matter. I don't feel like anybody who has shown so much aggression should be on the street. And I also feel like if Tory gets off of this, like I've said in my past live streams, I feel like he could become worse because he doesn't really respect authority, and he thinks that his money and his status can get him out of a lot of things, and that's dangerous. And then I also think about the people that he may have hurt that is suffering in silence. There are a lot of people that could be victims of him and they are not able to come forward. Again, this is a case between the state and Tory Lanez. The state picked it up because they saw evidence showing that Tory Lanez was a violent person. I know a narc when I see one. The lack of empathy for her friend alone is deplorable. She seriously harmed Kelsey emotionally, verbally, and physically. Do you think Tory Lanez is a narc? Okay, so you think Tory and Meg are monsters. Okay. Can we get a diagnosis for Tory? Is he an abuser? Is he a narcissist? Is he a sociopath? What do we describe Tory as? Everybody in this case has lied, not just Meg. Girl, they all have lied. They all have lied. And like I said, I feel like it's a character flaw to be called to do the right thing and not do it. Kelsey was called to be on stand to do the right thing and she still did not do it. That's a character flaw for me too. But I think that these are like good talking points because we were all raised differently and we were all taught like what was considered a good person versus what was considered a bad person. And like a lot of people, lying is a very, very bad taste in people's mouth. Like once you're deemed a liar, people don't like you. And I told y'all the worst thing you could be in life is a liar. If he gets off, Meg's life will be 1,000 times worse than it already is based on public scrutiny she's going to receive. Yeah, we're going to have to check on her for sure. AK said she's not a narcissist. It's trendy to throw around certain words today, but most people have no clue what actually qualifies a person to be the term they use. I'm not worried Tory's going to get caught up eventually. This is his personality. He's going to continue committing crimes. Yep. How do we know she didn't have empathy though? Yes, Tory seems like a it seems just as psychotic as well as the other rappers folks glorify. Kelsey and Meg weren't real friends. Their relationship was fickle. They definitely were not real friends. I'd like, whoa, just seeing how everything is playing out, their definition of friendship was really fucked up. But I do think that Kelsey defending her friend, trying to fight Tory for the gun, getting her hair pulled, getting all that, because y'all remember Kelsey's nails was in the middle of the street, her jewelry was off, and she was bloody. She was fighting. She was fighting that man. I don't think he's a narcissist, but I do think he's a sociopath with low self-esteem. Yep, he's 5'3". I can see Tory being a narcissist before Meg. He fits the textbook context for being a narcissist way more than Meg does. Yeah, he's dangerous. He's dangerous to me. Like Megan just is a bad friend and she lies, about things, but being around her wouldn't scare me. Now, would my man be around her? No. But being around her doesn't scare me. But being around someone like Tory does actually scare me. Kelsey's whole testimony has been lies and bullshit, hence why the tape had to be played. Yep. And she knew she was up there to do the right thing. And not only just for Megan, but for herself. She should want justice for herself as well. India, I agree. When Meg lost her mom and granny within a few months, she clinged to friends, and that friend was Kelsey. She also said on the stand that she bonded with Tory over the loss of him losing his mother too. As a licensed professional, I assure you I'm not throwing out these terms, but I haven't conducted a diagnostic interview with any of these folks. Oh, okay. So besides her lying, what else why would you say that she's a narcissist? Meg already lost in court of public opinion, and let's be honest, she's gonna get backlash since it happened. Girl, they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. That's why I was like, damn, can we get on to the new bombshells? But a lot of people was riding with her, and because she lied, it just put a sour taste in people's mouth. Tory fought August and lied about it. Girl, pretty girl. That's what really did it for me. That's what really did it for me. That sick man. August Alsina is sick. He's partially blind. Like, and all because August Alsina wouldn't shake his hand. You jump him because he wouldn't shake your hand. And then after he beat him up with his entourage, he jumped off, y'all. Like, he was so happy. He was smiling. Like, it made his day. It scared me. Meg had all the money and access to seek quality grief counseling. Meg lied about who she slept with. What else? I think she lied about leaving her flip-flop at Kylie's house so she could get Tory. The public is now acting like Tory's career was Chris Brown level before all of his violent episodes. Now, Jamitra, I was just having this conversation with my husband last night. I did not know how big Tory Lanez was in the industry. Like, I did not know that until like a couple months ago, I think. He's actually really big. Like he is really, really big. He's a producer. He has his hands in a lot of pots. So he does have a huge support system that I guess we wouldn't know about. Like me, I'm an R&B old school type of girl. If y'all heard my stomach, yes, it's growling. I'm hungry. But I'm an old school R&B type of girl, but he actually is very famous. He actually really is. I was shocked too, but he is. Kelsey husband don't want her giving Meg no help. It's more about the label shit than Tory, in my opinion. You think so? Tory got the short ninja stuff just like the baby girl. He's dangerous too. Tory music is trash. I can't even remember half of his songs, y'all. Like I didn't even like I said, I really did not know he was that famous, but he actually really is. He should have kept his butt in the background working. I wonder if his son mom has any stories about him. Ding, ding, ding. That's what I was alluding to when I said it's probably silent victims that just haven't came out and say anything because a lot of them won't. A lot of them do get intimidated by the money and all that. She could very well be a victim. I think Tori is more known for producing than being an artist. Yes, which I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea. Dang, I can't even name a song of his. Me neither. Let me Google. Y'all know Google's powerful. Let me Google. Songs Tory Lanez. I know one. Like I know one, but I don't know them off the top of my head. Oh yes. Okay, in 2016 he said he had that song Say It. You have to do more than just say it. You have to do more than just do it. Okay, I do remember that song. Um That's the only one that came up. Let's see what else he got. What is the Jack Harlow song? Because that kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, what song did he have with Jack Harlow? Oh, it's What's Poppin'. Oh, I don't even really know that song. Okay. Okay, I know Can I Stop By? Okay, I know that song. I know his little that Proud Family remix he did on a mixtape. Okay. So I do know a few of them. He actually does have a lot of songs. Okay. Okay. We just don't know them all. Also, why is his son's mom making that baby sit on a bench for hours? Please, someone tell me that. That little baby need to be in somebody kindergarten. I don't understand. I know Tory for quarantine radio. That's it. That's where a lot of people said it. And I remember him when he had Megan on the quarantine radio. I remember the one where she called in, and then I remember the one where she was there in person. It's interesting that Trina hasn't said anything either way because she was crazy about him. Trina, the rapper, the baddest bitch, she dated Tory. That's the only song of his I think I can remember, and my ex-fiance liked it. That's how I know about it. Yeah, I was like, "What is he known for again?" Like, for Meg to say Party is embarrassed and she which Tory would have unalived her makes me worry about her mental health. Yep, I said that days ago too. Okay, I know those songs you named. I didn't know him as the artist. Diamond Princess Trina. Girl, I'm waiting on AK to get run that back. Between you and AK, I can't take it because I can't believe she was in the lady pond, and I know he wasn't dating the baddest bitch. Well, black women get no grace. I hope Meg heals, and this situation was a big lesson for her. I would go to work and home. I wouldn't associate with nobody. But even then, India, that's not even healthy either. I believe that you are able to grow through what you go through. And if I was in Megan's corner, if I had the opportunity to talk to Megan, I would tell her, look, you don't owe anybody anything. You really don't. However, if you feel like it's some benefit or if it will help you to say, you know what, I lied. However, I'm not going to be shamed for this for the rest of my life. I am not going to let this define me. I'm going to, continue to strive for greatness. I would say do that. I have like nothing but hope that she gets through this because it's hard. It is really hard. And what you said is so true. Black women get no grace. Like, I'm not saying that we can't have any opinions of Megan, but I do feel like it's only right to equally have same opinions about Tory. And if we're gonna be honest here, the it's only one person that gets the paragraphs, and it's Megan. And then Tory is like, oh yeah, dot 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 dot. And it's not fair to me. Like, we can't hang on someone being a liar versus someone being extremely violent. Like, at least have the same energy for both people. Yes, the baddest bitch was with him. I am disgusted. Why was she dating him? Trina, how old is Tory? Hold on, let me see, because I think he's in his 30s. Because I just have some questions. So Tory Lanez is also a young male. We're the same age. Well, he's 30. Okay, so he's 30. When was he dating Trina again? Because how old is Trina? Hold on. 44 years old. I'll be darned. You know what? I'll be darned. That's crazy. Now Trina was the original city girl. She is. She was. Pretty girl. Trina been ran through. I don't think her associating with the people she does is conductive for her healing. Nope. And who's to say, like, who has she been around as of late? He mentioned how much she held him down, and I think he did a lot of production on her last album for free. Trina was known to be in the Lady Pond. Lord, this Lady Pond. Holly weird. I kid you not. It's really Holly weird for me. Okay. Meg is violent too, though. Has Meg ever shot anyone? I find it funny the bodyguard isn't around. He should be testifying. It was crazy because they said he been missing, but then they basically said he was found, but now he back missing. But again, I don't know who exactly needed him. I don't know if it was the prosecution or the defense that needed the bodyguard. But it is telling that he's not around. But like I said, I knew Kylie wasn't gonna testify. That didn't even shock me. Like, when people kept saying it, I'm like, y'all know that girl's not coming here. That's really crazy. I had no idea that Trina and Tory Lanez was together. That's really crazy. Okay, y'all, it's been an hour and 17 minutes. I'm about to wrap it up, y'all. Oh, before I go, we have Hidden Colors part India. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's been subpoenaed. I don't know. And then I was like, well, hell, even if he was subpoenaed and he didn't show, they can't find him, so he not gonna, like, he don't care. He was in the car. He told Kelsey, Megan, Tory got into it before. Oh, you said that earlier, and I thought you were saying he told someone that Megan Kelsey got into it before. Okay. Bodyguard should be forced to talk. Absolutely. I don't know if he was subpoenaed, but I was gonna say something else. Oh, Hidden Colors 3. Would y'all like to watch that tomorrow, like in the afternoon, noon my time, so Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock? Do y'all want to watch part 3? This trial has, like, stopped the little watch party, but if y'all want to, I can play it tomorrow afternoon for y'all. Because I know next week's gonna be a busy week with it coming into a holiday. So I'll make a poll and I'll let y'all vote. I'm about to go eat. My stomach will not stop growling. So I will see y'all in the next video. No, India, I couldn't find it. And I meant to write you and ask you, where could I find it at? Because I could not find it. Write me on Instagram and tell me where I can find it. Okay, you guys, have a good night. I'm about to eat, and I'm gonna make that viral TikTok s'mores little thing with my kids. So I'll tell y'all how that tastes tomorrow. Okay, bye y'all.